What's going on? And today we're going to discuss the Apple event that's happening on March the 27th, some other Apple news, and the WWDC dates. So let's kick this off here with the Apple event that has been announced for the 27th of March. The title of the Apple event is Let's Take a Field Trip, which has the sketched Apple thing on the banner, which could suggest a new Apple Pencil 2. I mean, the original Apple Pencil is nearly 3 years old. I guess it's like 2.5 years old. So a new Apple Pencil may be coming out, and it may be worth it as well. This event looks more like it's focused on education than anything else, to be honest, but it could still be an interesting one. The new $259 iPad is rumoured to launch at the event. I don't know if it will replace the current 2017 version. It was $329 or £339. I don't know if that will go to £269. I don't know what they'll do with the price here in the UK, but who knows? It might replace that iPad. It might be a slightly cheaper version and sort of like exist alongside it. I'm kind of not sure what they're going to do, but we'll see, and I'm sure whatever they do will make sense. There's also going to be a new MacBook, apparently, killing off the MacBook Air and adding a Retina display for between $700 and $899, so $799 and $899, which basically will be a bit cheaper than the iPad Air and a bit more updated as well, so it would kill that off. And we might see the iPhone SE 2 at the event, which, to be honest, I kind of want. I mean, I use the 8 Plus now, so the iPhone SE 2, if it stays as it is at the minute, like the smaller design like the 5S and that, with the A10 chip, wouldn't appeal to me, to be honest. I mean, I have the A11 chip, so if they brought it out, obviously it's a good phone, and, you know, I want this phone to exist more and to keep coming out, but at the same time, I don't know what it would bring. I mean, I don't need the iPhone SE 2, but I see the market for it. I mean, the first one came out 2 years ago, so people that got that and want the same again are going to start upgrading now. Maybe the design kind of needs to change a bit, but can't see that happening. Then again, we have had a new leak, which we'll cover as well, but the event is going to be held at a high school in Chicago, which is like some tech college-y thing, which is not something that Apple would normally do, actually, so we'll see what happens when it happens, basically. And we'll see what gets announced at that event. iOS 11.3, if I'm totally honest, will be, if I had to predict, it would be after the event, like just after it will be released. So we'll see. Like I said, it might not be released then, but we'll just see what Apple does. Next, we'll talk about WWDC, which has been announced for June the 4th to June the 8th. This is where we'll see iOS 11.12, iOS 11.12, getting my macOS and iOS confused. iOS 12 preview and developer beta 1. macOS 10.14, is it? Yes, I believe it is. 10.14, and also we will have the nice watchOS 5, the nice tvOS 12, and possibly then the new MacBooks or the iPhone SE 2 at WWDC. Who knows? The iPhone SE 2 might actually not happen. We'll just have to wait and see what Apple does with that phone. It might and it might not. But the iOS 12 and that will definitely happen. New macOS will get some kind of new codename thingy theme for it when it happens, which could be any sort of time, really, to be honest. But when that happens, we'll get some sort of theme name. Like at the minute, we have High Sierra. Last time we had Sierra. So we'll get some kind of name for that on that day. It will be announced. iOS 12 apparently will focus more on stability and just rebuilding the whole experience from basically nothing to what it is now. Like, just rebuilding the whole of iOS. I mean, it might not be much different, but it will be a lot stable, like a lot more stable, perform a lot better. The banner kind of hints at like floating icons with like some, if you go on the website, it looks like it's got quicker animations. So the redesign that was originally going to happen, that apparently got pushed back to iOS 13, could still make its way to like iOS 12 instead of iOS 13. It might just come in the end, and we might still get a redesign, which would be good. In other news, Apple have released iOS 11.3 Beta 6. Now, this is kind of touching on the smaller sort of news part of this, because the update's not as big, and it was 70.1 megabytes for me. All I can imagine is it has just like bug fixes and that before the date of that event, just so they can push the update closer, because they probably just want to get this out on the day of the event to go with the new iPad or whatever they're going to bring out. But yeah, I think, to be honest, this is nearly ready. I think next week we'll see the GM version, which will come in as Beta 7, obviously, for like developers and that, and public beta testers. But it was 70.1 megabytes on my 8 Plus, and with Beta 5, I kind of had this weird glitch just before I updated, actually, where it sort of crashed and just glitched out and rebooted, and I don't even know what happened, really. But yeah, and an iPhone SE 2 has leaked, which kind of looks like the iPhone 10 with like a metal back, the sort of Face ID thing. And if the iPhone SE 2 is going the way of the iPhone 10, I don't believe it would get the name SE 2. I think Apple would probably go for something more like iPhone 10 SE or something like that, because, you know, if it's meant to be similar to the iPhone 10, they are going to want to keep it going. They are going to want to keep it running the same as the same as the iPhone 10, like the same naming scheme, because it may just be a cheaper version of the iPhone 10. We will see, but that's what I'm predicting. It will be like the 10 SE or something along those lines. And Fortnite is available for iOS now as well. It's an invite system. So if you've got a 6S or later and you want to go play that, then download it, and hopefully you have your invite codes and that. And yeah, there's a new box as well. Now, this new box can hack the passcode of your iPhone. Anything up to a 6-digit passcode, it will just bypass. And it's from a company called Grayshift, I believe, and the box is called the Grey Key. So that's going to hack through the passcode and the combination and that. So you're going to get into the iPhone. And the worrying thing is kind of that Apple can't find these exploits. And it's really not good for them, because they kind of need to look for these exploits. But yeah, and at WWDC we could also be seeing the bezel-less iPad Pro, with rumour having an 11-inch model now coming in as well, which could be interesting. I'm guessing that would replace the 10.5, but it would have no home button, nothing like that. It'd just be like the iPhone 10, Face ID, and who knows, maybe one day we'll get 3D Touch on an iPad. Who actually knows? We still don't have it at the minute, but maybe. And maybe this year we'll get the 120Hz display refresh thing on the iPhone, like the iPad Pro has now. But who knows, again, we just have to wait and see. We're also going to get the true L-shaped battery now, without the dividers for the battery controllers, hopefully this year. Apparently the iPhone 10 Plus will be very big, 6.5-inch display, slightly higher resolution. We'll get another model with the iPhone 10, and that 6.1-inch iPhone is just the one that we don't really know about at the minute. It could be the SE2, it could be the 10 SE, and it could be just that standard budget end iPhone 10, and there could also still be an iPhone SE2. That's just something we're going to have to see what happens. This event may tell us something about the iPhone SE2, but either way, I'll keep you updated and stuff. The reason I haven't been covering iOS 11.3 betas is just there's not enough change, so there's no point covering them for tiny little things. But yeah, we will keep you updated, and I'll keep you updated on the Apple event as well, and I'll see you in the next one.